We gotta keep that same energy. We gotta keep that same energy with David Benavidez that we do with everybody else. Now, the problem that I have, the issue that I'm going through, is that David Benavidez and his crackhead ass team keep lying. Why are you guys always lying? Why are you guys always clout chasing, naming somebody when you know you don't have them kind of nuts? David Benavidez the other day posted to his social media that he's cooking up something big for y'all for my next fight. That's what David Benavidez said. He's cooking up something big. He's cooking up a big fight, a massive fight. That's what David Benavidez said he's cooking up. So these are his words. He's cooking up a big fight. Then it came out on Boxing Scene today that David Benavidez and his team supposedly offered David Morrell a fight. And he stated, I don't want to fight somebody who doesn't mean something for my career. I only want to fight the best available, and the best out there now is David Morrell. So this man then said David Morrell's the best available fighter. Then he said he's going to make him an offer. Then David Benavidez said that he only wants the big and best fights available. Now let me find out that David Benavidez, according to Michael Benson in Talk Sports, has come out and told all of those reporters, all of them, that David Morrell, he's not fighting him next, and he's looking to fight Jesse Hart in December. So you did all of this clout chasing to fight a fucking paletero. You fighting an elote salesman. But you want to sit up here and talk about you a man, you a killer, you a beast, you a monster. You ain't nothing but a big mouth coochie. That's what you are. Sit your ass down, you filthy animal, because only a filthy animal would turn out here and lie to everybody. Oh, I'm going to fight David Morrell. I want a big fight. Newsflash, dumbass. Newsflash, dumbass. Jesse Hart is not a big fight. It's not. Jesse Hart is not a big fight. He's not. What's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this guy? And this dude sitting up here talking about I don't want fights that don't do nothing for my career. What the fuck does Jesse Hart do for your career? What does he do? What does he do for your career? Explain that to me. Because I don't know. Okay. Then this guy says, I'm cooking up something big for y'all for my next fight. How in the fuck is Jesse Hart a big fight? How is that a big fight, you big, stupid dumbass? I don't got time for this fat fuck. See, this is the problem that I have with David Benavidez. I try to be nice. I try to be respectful. But then this filthy animal keeps going off, talking about he's going to fight this guy and he's going to fight that guy. Then you want to fight my grandma. What's wrong with this guy? And then you get some fanboy over here, but he's a monster. Everybody's afraid. David Benavidez, he's the Mexican monster. He's the Mexican coach. That's what he is. Because you ain't no damn monster. You ain't no damn monster. What's wrong with this guy? Talk all that shit, just to be fighting Jesse Hart. Then Jesse Hart just posted to his social media. He just posted to his social media and said he hasn't been made an offer for the David Benavidez fight. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So now you're lying about that too? How much lying are you going to do? What is wrong with David Benavidez? What is wrong with you? This dude is literally a filthy fucking animal. I don't have time for this dumbass. This dude wanted me, I'm going to fight David Morrell. No, what you need to do is fight a fucking diet, you fat piece of shit. That's what you need to do. Fight a fucking diet. Because you fought it once and you lost. You got TKO'd. So stop playing with me. That's the problem with these guys. They want to give all these guys a pass. I'm not like these other channels. I'm not finna get this guy a pass. I'm not finna overlook this. I'm not going to let this go. You said you was going to get a big fight next, and the only big thing that you got going on is your big-ass fucking mouth. That's the only big thing you got going on. You talk too much. You eat too much. Let your hands do the talking, pussy. That's the problem. That's the problem. Then you get people say, IBFP, you need to calm down. You need to relax. You don't need to get upset. Please don't talk about David like that. We need to coddle. I'm not here to babysit David fat fucking Benavidez. That's not my job. My job is to body bag his dumb ass every time he comes out here lying. This is not the first time he's lied about who he's going to fight. He said he was going to enforce the mandatory Canelo. He never did it. How many times are you guys going to stop believing this fat ass cookie monster, the Mexican coochie? How many times are you going to stop believing this guy? Please stop. You guys cannot be believing this. You can. If David Benavidez, if I invited him over to my house and he took a shit in my bathroom and he came out, I'm going to believe. And he said, oh yeah, I wiped and cleaned up. I don't even believe he wiped his ass. I believe he has shit in his ass. I don't believe this man would even wipe his ass. Oh yeah, I washed my hands. I don't even believe he washed his hands. Everything he says a lie. He got shitty hands. But this is your king. This is the guy that's supposed to be the king in the face of boxing. This is your king. Come on. Come on. This guy got shitty hands, a shitty ass, and a shitty resume. But you want to tell me, I seen somebody today talking about, oh, David Benavidez fought Demetrius Andre in Boston. Great resume. You mean a retired fighter and a fucking hype job? You glazing this man over fighting a hype job, Demetrius Dookie Stain Andre? You're glazing him over that? You're glazing him for beating up a retired? What's wrong with these guys? Where are the boxing fans? Wipe your mouth off, you filthy animals. What's wrong with these people? We just trying to keep the same energy. We just want to see the best fight the best. But this dude sitting up here talking about, I want to fight David Morrell. I want to fight the big fights. The only thing that you fighting is that fucking diet, and you're losing, you big fat ass. What's wrong with these guys? I'm disgusted. My brother Edgar Moreno says, I told you, bro. Benavidez is all talk like his fan. That's all I'm saying from David. That's all I'm saying. David, you can't say 1 minute you're going to fight David Morrell, and then the next minute you're talking about Jesse Hart. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Either you want to be a pussy for the rest of your life and clout chase everybody, and anybody that think David Benavidez is a real fighter that's really out there trying to get the smoke, you stupid. You stupid. You probably walking around with a shitty ass. You probably walking around with shit under your fingernails. You probably are a filthy animal, because anybody with common sense has been noticing this man lying time after time after time after time. How many times do we have to do it? How many times? The CIA says, Jesse, who? If it's a pay-per-view, it's under 80,000 buys. And look, we already know their last pay-per-view was trash. He didn't move no numbers. He ain't the face of boxing. This guy is nothing on that level. So the most you can give us is a great fight. The most you can give us is a great fight. That's all we want to see, is you give us a great fight. You couldn't even knock out a former retired guy. Then you promise everybody you're going to fight a big fight next. And then you say you're fighting Jesse fucking Hart. What's wrong with this guy? Goofy Combat, salute to you. He says Jesse Hart fought a guy with double-digit losses last year. Benavidez looking good fighting 168-pound midgets, but cherry picks guys once he starts fighting the big man at 175. That's it. All he's doing is cherry picking. You said David Morrell. You don't want to fight fights that don't mean nothing. You don't want to fight fights that are meaningless, that are pointless, that don't have any purpose. But yet your fat ass turns around and is trying to fight Jesse fucking Hart. What happened to David Morrell? What happened to all that big talk? What happened to all that energy? What happened to all of that? Sorry, come on. Hold on. I got an idiot in the comments. David Rodriguez, he says this fight with David Benavidez and Jesse Hart is equivalent to Canelo versus Yildirim. Laughing out loud. Listen, you moron. Canelo Yildirim was a mandatory fight for Canelo on his path to undisputed, stupid. He had to fight that fight. David Benavidez ain't undisputed. He's not a world champion. He's cherry picking. Go wipe your ass, you filthy animal. What's wrong with these guys? This is what I'm saying. I shouldn't have to body bag grown-ass men who want to sit up here and glaze David Benavidez. These guys don't even want to keep it the same. They don't want to keep the same energy. That's all I'm asking. Keep the same. Don't switch up. Don't be different. Keep the same energy. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. My goodness. My goodness. Salute to the boxing sage. And you're absolutely right, Alfredo. Yildirim was actually David's mandatory, and Canelo inherited that mandatory. See, we got to understand. We got to understand. People want to bring Canelo into this. People want to throw his name into this. Canelo's been undisputed. Canelo's a 4-weight world champion. Canelo's had unifications. David Benavidez ain't a multiple weight world champion. He's never had a unification. He's never been undisputed. He's not a Hall of Famer. Why are you sitting up here glazing this man? I'm sorry. What's wrong with all these zesty warriors in the chat defending David Benavidez? If you guys want to be zesty warriors defending David Benavidez, take your ass over there and go wipe his ass, you filthy animal. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't understand these people who call themselves boxing fans. How is a boxing fan truly supporting this trash? I don't understand it. Look, somebody wants to get on with the landlord, and that's what I would do. I'm going to let somebody on here, man. Because, look, I'm a nice guy. I try to be fair, but the problem that I have with David Benavidez is all this lying. There's no reason for all this lying. There's no reason for you to be sitting up here talking crazy. There's no reason for you to say you don't want to fight fights that don't mean anything, and then you turn around and trying to fight a fight that don't mean shit. I don't understand it. Oh, I'm going to take a big fight. Jesse Hart's not a big fight. Jesse Hart's not a big fight. Jesse Hart, hold on. Javier Molina said, it's his second fight at 175, wifey voice. And the problem that I have with people is David said his fight was going to be a big fight. David said he was moving up for undisputed. All of his fights should be top notch. What are we talking about? All of his fights should be elite. All of his fights should be against the best. Let me do the link again, man. Let me do the link again. Because I got to make sure I got the link right. Because I got a lot of people in the building that want to get in and that want to speak on this, man. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this right. So let me make sure I got this link right. My goodness, David Benavidez sitting up here talking about all this trash. And you guys want to defend this. Salute to my brother Hick Worldwide.
You may just, I can't speak too loud, my mum's asleep, but you may just want to check. Oh, you've collected it now, yeah. The link was, you put 2 A's and you typoed in the link.
My bad. Talk to me, Hick. What do you think of this nonsense?
Garbage. Trash. Horrible. Need I go through it? I mean, he's just been exposed. He's just exposed himself. I mean, you're going to be fighting Jesse Hart, who's a nobody, and then you've got this Tank versus Lamont Roach fight as well. It's a disgusting thing from BBC.
I'm disappointed, man.
Go ahead, Raider. You've been known as a Benavidez fan. Go ahead.
I'm disappointed, man. I can't keep defending this guy.
Raider, speak. Go on. Let you rant.
Like, I thought, I was believing, he's going to fight David Morrell. I was hoping, man, I saw yesterday. I was hoping, man, he'll fight Morrell. But then I saw, that the rumors weren't true. I was pissed, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I was mad, man.
I'm not really surprised by it at all, to be honest.
Let me ask the panel a question. Let me ask the panel a question real quick. Why did David Benavidez say his next fight's going to be a big fight? If you're going to look to fight a guy like Jesse Hart, somebody explain that to me. Can somebody answer why you said
that's not a big fight? Because he's trying to lie to us all. I mean, he's trying to justify why he took Canelo. Let's just say it. The moving up to 178 instead of forcing Canelo's hand was a duck. Anyone saying it's not is a fucking liar. He knows Bivol and Better B are fighting each other, so you're not going to get either one of those next. He says I'm going to get a big fight, so we're all thinking Morrell. Not Jesse Hart. Like, come on.
He said he's going up to cruiserweight, too.
Oh, my God. Why does that not surprise me? Because he thinks he has a winnable fight there. Because let's be honest, I've said Morrell beats him. I've said Canelo beats him. I've said both Better BF and Bivol beat him. He's trying to just get winnable fights. He's trying to Floyd it. Fraud.
The
I
son of New
think
Jersey.
he's just.
Keep going,
Wait,
Max.
what?
Keep going.
So
Go ahead,
I was
Max.
gonna say, I think he has just no chance. I think honestly, he's really stuck where he's at right now, because he knows that in either weight classes, whether he's 68 or 75, he knows for a fact he has no chance of winning. Because realistically, you have David Morrell, rather he fights at 68 or 75, he presents a challenge to him, which being David, who's David, like, look how he handled 168 with Plant. He couldn't knock him out, yet Canelo had an injured hand and knocked him out. He couldn't even take out Alexander Vostok, which is like a semi-retired fighter who technically came back. And honestly, you can, and if I'm not mistaken, in your video yesterday, you said he literally came out of that fight, although he won, broken hand, broken ribs, like injured, like the fact that an old retired 175-pounder guy who lost to Archer Benavidez put a pain on you, and it makes a lot of sense why he's talking all this crap, because he's honestly stuck right now. Who does he have left to cherry pick at this point other than this Jesse Hart? So he fights Jesse Hart, he's still stuck.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to this comment. Goofy Combat says, how is this David Benavidez second fight at 175 if he fought at light heavyweight in 2016 against Kevin Cobbs? Javier really got tricked by the PBC propaganda. And here's my thing about this. If you go look at his resume, if that's on there at 175, that's despicable action from David Benavidez, intentionally trying to weight bully. Everybody keeps asking, where's Noe? I don't know. I'm assuming Noe, he's somewhere with his head up a girl's ass. That's my hope for him. But as far as my brother, the son of New Jersey, my brother from another mother, the Cambosis killer, right here, son of New Jersey. What do you think about all this, son? What do you think about this?
Listen, you see, if you're not fighting Morrell, you could have had. There's other guys at the weight class that would have been a good fight that I would have never got onto your ass about. He could have fought Callum Smith. He could have fought Anthony Yard. Or at the very least, one of those guys. You could have fought one of those guys. But you decided to go for a low-level opponent in Jesse Hart, who was like Zurdo Ramirez's leftovers or something, what I heard. And
Pretty much.
And you basically just exposed yourself as a liar. So not only you ducked Canelo, and not only you are basically probably don't want any smoke with Better BF or Bivol, because we already know that all three of those guys put you in the dirt pretty easily. You decide to cherry pick at 175 because you're not weight bullying, the guys that that you did at 168 where you had problems with because he had trouble with Plant. He won that fight, but barely beat him. And even Andrade caught him multiple times before he got slept. It's just the thing is with Plant and Andrade, those guys don't have any power. Yeah, it's just the thing is Plant and Andrade, those guys don't have power. Those guys have pillow hands. And then the moment you go up to 175, you look vulnerable against Bostic, who is basically a retired fighter.
They're roasting you guys, man.
Fuck you, Dio.
Fuck you, Dio.
Hey, you don't mind if I say something?
Fuck off.
Go ahead. Who wants to take the floor?
Let me say
Hey,
something. Hey,
question. I was
where's
thinking
Ashley
about
Knuckles
this a
at?
lot.
Where's No Ducky No Life? Where's all those guys at?
And here's the
All right, so we have Rayo asking where the Benavidez defenders are. Who was it who wanted to speak? Was it Max or was it?
Yeah, it was me.
Hold on, right
Come on,
before we
Max.
get to it, I'm gonna just say, no ducking, no life. He's been in the chat a few times, but he refuses to get back on the panel ever since David Benavidez didn't activate his mandatory for some reason. He's afraid. He's afraid to face that reality. Max, Untouchable Raider, what do you think about this, man? I haven't heard from you.
I'll let Untouchable Raider go first.
Basically, I said that as a Benavidez fan, I'm truly disappointed in his actions. I'm disappointed in choices of his fights, and I wanted to really see that Morrell fight, but I guess we're not going to see it anytime soon. I'm very disappointed, and I'm not paying $90 for that pay-per-view.
Max?
Oh,
Also,
I actually have a
I
fun
do.
question. So now that we've seen Canelo and David Benavidez fight at 175, hypothetically, I mean, I already kind of know the answer, but I just kind of want your guys' intake on this. If if they were to fight at 175, how do you see that fight playing out? Like we've seen Canelo, who's the smaller guy at 175, yet we've seen Benavidez, who's like technically is a natural 175 pounder, but yet he struggled with another natural 75 pounder. I mean, I just kind of find it interesting that Canelo did better as 175 than Benavidez. So I just kind of, I mean, this is more an open floor question to anybody, but like, what are your guys'
Give me
thoughts
Canelo.
of
Give me
that
Canelo by stoppage within 8 rounds.
at 175?
At what? At 175.
175, 175,
Yep.
not 168.
No, at 175 as well. Give me Canelo by stoppage at 8 rounds. Because let me be clear, he got the weight cut wrong for the Bivol fight. If you all remember, he got it right for when he fought Kovalev. But also, let's remember, Canelo had the broken hand. I believe it was during the Bivol fight, if I remember correctly. He never made an excuse, but
That's true.
that
That's
was
true.
the fact.
Yeah, he had the hurt hand.
Canelo healed 100%. Gets the weight cut right, which I know for a fact he will. He won't make that same mistake again. Give me Canelo by stoppage. Easy work, easy money.
Give me Canelo by, not going to lie, I think that fight probably will go the distance. Canelo by unanimous decision. The only reason why I think it'll go the distance is because David's going to probably rehydrate all the way up to 210 pounds, which, yeah. Just give me Canelo by decision, 10 rounds to 2.
I'm gonna say I don't know. I'm like 50-50. I agree with both Hit Kid and Southern New Jersey because David's gonna come in over 200 pounds. So that weight's gonna kind of help him a little, But I also see it going to the point where if that fight was made, I think Canelo would have a chip on his shoulder. We're like, all right, you talked enough shit. You said that I'm scared of you. I'm gonna show you that I'm not scared of you, and you're gonna feel a couple shots where I'm gonna embarrass you, and if you think you're game for that type of fight, then I know I'm game for that type of fight, and it could lead to like a ref stoppage where like Benavidez is getting pummeled and his face is battered, and it's like no point in keeping the fight going.
It will be early.
Yeah.
Canelo
Hold
will
on.
make
Did we get everybody's prediction on that fight?
What was the prediction?
The Canelo Benavidez if it happens.
To
Oh,
be
that's
honest,
175.
I was just going to add on to one more point I'd like to make, and the reason why I'm thinking to go the distance is because lately, like, yes, Canelo's gotten his wins pretty easily. It's just, the thing is, like I said, all of his fights, Munguia, Berlanga, and probably Jermel as well. Probably even Jermel, I think those guys probably came in over 200 pounds as well, is because the weight really does make a difference. Like, he can drop these guys, but these guys are only lasting is because not only Canelo is carrying them to decisions, is also because they're coming in heavy, which makes it not that easy to knock out. You know what I mean? And that's why with Benavidez is why I think it'll go the distance.
That's right. That's exactly right. The Son of New Jersey has the perfect analysis. This is why I had to stop messing with fat bitches. Because I'd mess with a fat bitch and I couldn't knock her out. That's why I had to bring it down in weight. Look, I'm gonna break it down here. My brother, he says the truth be told, Caleb Plant may have won 6 rounds versus David Benavidez. I'm not exactly sure, but I know Caleb Plant dominated the first half of that fight. He was winning a lot of rounds, maybe
He
4 or
was
5
winning a lot.
consecutive
I
rounds.
think he won 5 rounds considered.
5 rounds.
5 rounds, and then Benavidez turned it on and won 7-5 overall in the fight.
But
Hold on.
he ran out of gas.
So Nuke, did you just tell us you was a chubby chaser?
Hey, I'm with him on that one.
Look, man, I'm gonna tell you this, Edgar, man. Look. There was a time in my life where I was the fat bitch slayer.
hey, man.
Shit.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it, bro.
Somebody had to do you guys dirty work, man. All right.
So Nuke,
Amato says, yo, Nuke, what do you think about the Tank versus Rayo fight falling through because Tank wants to dehydrate Rayo instead of going up to 140 pounds? Before we get back to Benavidez, What do you guys think about this? I think it's a coochie response. Tank already fought at 140. Why not just fight him for a world title, a real one at 140? This is a pussy move from Tank to me.
I'm totally with Nuke on this. Why not just fight the guy at 140, no rehydrate and all that? We'd actually give you praise, Tank. We'd all be on here for once giving you praise. Instead, no, you're bringing up a guy from 130 to fight you at 135. Get the fuck out.
Nah,
Be honest. Do any of us want to see Tank fight Lamont Roach for his next fight? Be honest.
Hell
Do we
no.
want to see that?
Hell no.
no,
No.
no,
This is
no.
like Jesse Hart of the same division. I don't want to see this shit. And then
Imagine
it's on
if that's the
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
They're gonna make it a
Pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
Imagine.
Yeah,
They're
they're
like,
gonna make it.
listen,
Yeah, they're gonna make it a
Best
pay-per-view.
pay-per-view was with his baby mama.
And you're wondering why BBC's going out of business.
Tank and David are working
Right,
together.
No, like, be honest. Imagine if
It's
that's
just
the pay-per-view lineup. Tank and Roach, and on the undercard it's Benavidez and Hart. Are we gonna pay $90 for that bullshit?
Oh,
I'm
my-
fire sticking it.
I'm
I'm
not.
fire sticking it. I'll
I'm fire
fully
sticking
admit
it.
it.
Look, I can't in good conscience do that. I got to go over a fat bitch house and watch the fight.
Hell yeah.
Yo, sorry to interrupt. I'm actually have to step out for this one, but you guys have a good one. I hope you
Have a good
have a
night.
wonderful day.
Have a good one. Have a great
All
day.
right,
Later.
Tomorrow.
man. All right.
Much
But
love.
yeah, why don't you just fight? Being realistic, why don't you just fight Rayo at the weight? You fought Mario Barrios at that weight. Why don't you just fight Rayo at that weight? It's that simple.
Mike Trade says
Bro, it's cause,
are nothing but cherry pickers.
Literally.
yeah, exactly,
Preach.
bro. It's yo. I'm sorry to say it. It's 90% of this new era soft ass fighters. I'm sorry. It's basically what it's come to. Like they believe that they're God's next gift to the world, and they think they're worth more than they really are. But although both of those fights are going to be pay-per-viewed, and their dumbass delusional fan base is going to buy some of it, and then PBC or
Yeah,
whoever
here,
the promoter is going to lie and bump up the numbers when they really didn't make any money. They lost money, and they're just trying to play this stupid, this stupid story along.
yeah, but here's like even a rumor or like people floating around that they think that the reason why the Tank Loma fight is not happening is because they're basically saying, oh, Lomachenko ducked Tank Davis. They're basically saying Loma ducked him.
Right, but
And
their delusional fan base is
basically,
gonna fucking eat all that garbage up.
I don't even know like why. I honestly, at this point, Nuke is kind of right when he basically like because if the Tank Loma fight, since it's not happening, you got to blame Tank Davis for all of
Hold
this
on.
running that he's been doing for all these years.
Yeah, I don't
And
blame
now-
them. Hold on. I need to call it something I've just seen on social media. Okay.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
Oh shit!
I wish we could post tweets in here, but pretty much I've just seen this. So this is from a Twitter account called Nuke Fition, who doesn't have a clue about boxing. Okay, he's a Tank Davis fanboy. Here's what he says: saying Rayo doesn't have to fight Tank at 135 because he is a champion at 140 is an excuse. Yes, he is saying Rayo is making excuses. Let me make this clear.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, I'll send it you, Duke. Look at this shit. I'll send it you. I'll tag you to it. Okay? But let me read through. He's made 4 points, okay? He's made 4 points, and listen these points out. 1, Tank is a champion at 135 and has been a champion longer than El Rayo. What? We're counting email title reigns as longer title reigns. What the fuck?
Are we really gonna count that?
2, Tank is a
Hey, Dawn, I'll be right there.
Tank is a heavy A side to Rayo's said side, which Tank is the A side in the fight, but come the fuck on. 3, he has no other big fight options besides Tank. I'm pretty certain there's some champions at 140 he could unify with.
Yeah, that's a
4,
bigger fight.
Yeah, and 4, Rayo called for the fight. Yeah, because he wants to get paid.
Well, you will always call for the fight, but if Rayo's calling for the fight and Tank picks up the phone, you're gonna fight him where he's at 140. You're not gonna say, "Oh, you need to move down and wait." Who does that?
You know,
Nobody.
sorry to interrupt, but as you were saying that, think about if Pitbull would have won. They probably would have angled for Pitbull. He would have got that fight. And
They would have done the rematch at 140 with Pitbull and Tank.
That's what's crazy about it, right? But Pitbull upsets the cherry cart, and Rayo at least has enough guts to say, no, fuck that. Well, he's trained by Robert, and Robert's very boxing savvy.
That's trainer of the year right there.
It
So
could be a
far,
good
yeah.
fight if they make it at 140.
It'd be a brilliant fight at 140. No rehydration and all that. Tank El Rayo, we'd all be on here saying it's a great fight. And we're going to see how great Tank is. We'd actually be placing Tank if it was. Legit, anyone can argue with it. And listen, this channel, we've always been critical on Tank. Mainly because of his cherry-picking record and the rehydration stuff. If this was up 140 for Rayo's fucking title, and, you know, with no rehydration and all that, we'd all be on here praising Tank. Would we or would we not?
We would.
Yeah, we would.
Salute.
I would see it as a straight up fight and let the better man win.
He's a solid fighter. He has great skills. I don't know why he has to do the shit that he has to do by cherry picking.
Can I say
You
something
know,
real
Like
quick?
Tank's not even looking at the champions of one. He's not even looking at Shakur Stevenson or Dennis Berinchik. He's not even looking at those guys at 35 either.
Go
Like,
ahead.
what the fuck?
Go ahead. Who wanted to take the floor? Someone else wanted to take the floor.
Hold on. Let me take the floor real quick.
Go ahead,
Goofy
Vic.
Combat says PBC equals Premier Boxing cherry picks. And the only thing I want to say real quick, the only thing I want to say real quick is this: we give credit where credit is due. If Tank was fighting Rayo at 40 and he was fighting him for a world title, we give him nothing but respect and praise for that. That's just similar to David Benavidez doing what he was supposed to do. If he would have fought David Morrell at 175, a guy that's been chasing him, we would have respected that and we would have gave him his props. But that's not what he's doing. So I'm not going to give anybody any credit that's not putting in the work they're supposed to.
That type of stuff hurts boxing too. Like, give the fans what they want, man.
On the money, Raider.
Yep, you're
Yeah,
right.
salute panel in the IBFT. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, hey, but it's the cuck media, bro. They put, after beating Frank Martin, weren't all these guys saying he's number 5 pound for pound? I mean, this is the media doing it.
Not a chance is he number 5.
Hell no. Fuck
they did though.
No.
They put him up there. ESPN, Ring Magazine, they threw him up there.
I seen him
He
put him over
leapfrogged
Canelo,
everybody.
too.
I saw it. Yeah.
What's crazy is I've seen pound for pound less. I've seen Tank over Inoue.
Oh my gosh.
Which is ludicrous.
Smoking crack. What is smoking
These are
crack?
the same people that put David Benavidez on a pound for pound. He hasn't done anything pound for pound worthy.
Bruh.
We put who over Inoue?
They put Tank over
Inoue.
And I think it was one of these known channels too that actually put like one of these known like boxing like media. They actually put him over fucking Inoue.
Wasn't an LDBC channel, was it?
I didn't know, but I don't know.
Like
but,
Eagle, Showbiz. Who ain't the worst out of the bunch? It's usually Eagle, Fannin, Blue Blood. I've not even heard of Southpaw. Is he family?
Yeah.
Is he incarcerated again?
Blue blood.
Hey,
And
more like blue
IBFP, I've
balls.
seen you do a segment on this, but why are not fans clamoring? What's the explanation for why we didn't get Shakur and Tank Davis? Like, what's the explanation?
The only explanation that I got is Tank Davis' team reached out to Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson said, I didn't hear back within a week. He ended up signing with Matchroom and moving on and saying, oh, we can fight Tank later down the line. To me, the way it appears to me, those optics look like Shakur Stevenson walked away from the table.
Well, I meant more about how we conversate boxing in the social media sphere. Why aren't those fan bases, why aren't they clamoring for that the way they do Benavidez and Canelo?
It's because neither one of those guys are. It's because, and in all honesty, you know, neither one of those guys are like Canelo. So Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing, but he's probably the most hated guy in boxing because he's so famous, because he has so much clout. Everybody hates on the guy. So it's become a cool thing to hate on him. Anytime Canelo has a competitive fight, oh, he got exposed. Anytime he has a close fight, he lost. Anything that Canelo does, he's not the face of boxing anymore. It's always some kind of hate somebody's trying to pull out of their ass. So we were needing the Spence Crawford for years. That fight wasn't happening, but there was no pressure. The pressure was on Canelo. Oh, he's ducking black fighters. He won't fight a Mexican. He won't do this. He won't do that. We remember all these narratives. Am I lying, Untouchable?
Nope.
Nope,
not at all.
And the most recent one is.
Oh, go ahead.
No, the most recent one is Munguia and Berlanga. They gave up the fight for the money.
Yeah,
that's all they're saying.
I heard that.
Why don't keep the same energy with Charlo? Charlo came in for
Charlo,
the
I
paycheck.
mean, Munguia and Berlanga at least fought Canelo. Charlo ran all fight.
Oh yeah, no, he wasn't gonna stick for that power, man.
Because
That's the
Jamel
geeky
knew
power.
after,
Yeah, no, he
yeah,
came
because
for the paycheck.
Jamel knew after he got dropped that if he would have to exchange with Canelo, Jamel knew he was going to get slapped.
Well, Jamel was waving it like he won a brand new belt after the fight. He said, "Yeah, I didn't get knocked out." Like, okay, that was what you came here for, just to try to survive. We know that.
He's a runner. He's a track star.
He's a runner. He's a track star.
Hey, hey, is it cool if I, hey, IBFP, you know BFTP boxing?
BF who?
BFTP boxing.
That weird guy from the
Dude,
LDDC.
that guy is always like nut riding on Shakur, man.
So I know you're talking about the guy that touches himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that guy. So BFTB, if you're listening to me, man, if you're listening to me, I'm gonna tell you a quick story about BFTB. BFTB or whatever his fucking name is, he came on here years ago before my channel got bigger. I think I had about 10, 11,000 subs at the time. And he came and he left me a comment and said, "Hey man, I would love to get on here and debate you. And you know, you're a Mexican lover and all of this." I said, "Okay, cool. Go ahead and click the link and we can get it in." He said, "No, you got to come to my channel, pussy." What the hell? You're begging me for a conversation and you want me to come to your channel? That doesn't make any sense. So if you ever wash your hands, stop touching yourself, and you can come over here and click the link and I'll destroy you.
Yeah,
That was like the whole Charlo thing, man. He's like, oh, I want to fight Canelo, but I don't want to fight no app. Well, motherfucker, if you want to fight him, then you'd fight him anywhere else.
Dude, he's like, I don't know, man. He's weird, but
Kind of like how the turkey was basically pushing for Canelo to fight Crawford in January instead of May and September.
Hey, actually, speaking about that, is it true that they're kind of in the table negotiating?
What,
No.
Canelo and Crawford?
Yeah, Canelo Crawford. I heard there's a rumor that they're kind of talking about that, but I don't know. Since I don't hear from like a legitimate source, I kind of scoop it off, but
well,
I don't know.
This is what Mike Coppinger said in the last that I've heard of it. Mike Coppinger said that Team Terrence Crawford and Turkey Al-Sheikh was going to make Canelo an offer after the Berlanga fight. So I'm assuming they're preparing the offer, if not already making one privately, or they're about to in the coming weeks or months. On the other hand, he stated that Canelo said he wanted to fight Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol had did an interview the other day, and he stated that Canelo Alvarez needs to contact Eddie Hearn if they really want to talk about a potential rematch. But Dimitri Bivol has to win his next fight first, if we can even get into that. So Canelo can't talk to Bivol until Bivol beats Better BF, because then that'll be pointless.
If he beats it.
And that's if he beats him.
I apologize. If he beats him, according to Hit Kid, he will.
It's a 50
if he beats him. But
Yeah,
I gotta say, Bivol. I don't know. Bivol outpoints him. I think that's my thing.
I've been backing Bivol by decision, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Only a couple of
that's
weeks
gonna be a great fight, man. That's gonna be a huge fight.
I mean, I don't care. I just hope it's a good fight. I hope it's a good fight. But I mean, my gut feeling is that Canelo's gonna be as soon as that fight's over. I mean, I think he wants it to be Bivol, so he can just strictly go after the fight, just go straight to the office and be like, all right, I'm moving up to 175, and I want that fight right now to go all the belts, 8 belts on the line, both divisions, and take his run back. But
That's
at
the
the
thing,
same
though.
way, at the same rate, though, I don't think he cares much if it's Better Beef. If it's Better Beef, then it is Better Beef, and he's just going to go up there and try to go undisputed at 175.
I'm scared, man, because Canelo he is slowing down, though. He does take a little bit more punishment than he used to. I don't know. I have no idea if he's gonna, or if he's just kind of fighting like that in order to kind of bait Bivol into it's an easy fight.
I think Canelo Bivol is a 50-50 fight. Here's a shocker. I have Canelo beating Better BF.
First off, before we go there, Jules had a comment for you there, Hit.
I saw it. Move on.
Get him on. Hey, get Jules on. Let him talk.
AC said Hit Kid is the kind of guy that the girl tells you not to worry about.
My God.
Oh, the good old chat roasted me. But yeah, I think Canelo beats Better BF.
Better BF or Bivol?
I think the Bivol fight's a 50-50. I think he beats Better BF.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The only guy I think that can knock Canelo out around his weight has to be Better BF. I think that's the only fight where Canelo can go to sleep.
Can I tell you why I think Better BF beats? Why I think Canelo beats Better BF though?
Talk to me.
We just heard it. I believe it was from round 105. You just said Canelo slowing down. I'm sorry, Better BF is age is going to catch up with Better BF, but not only that,
obviously.
But not only that, he's coming off this knee injury. Because that's the injury coming off, going into this Bivol fight, which makes me fancy Bivol quite a bit. And not only that, it's, like with the knee injury, I think speed kills in this fight. I think Canelo's going to be too quick for him.
And that's kind of the thing about boxing. When a lot of guys, when guys take matches, because they say they see something. A lot of times it's full of smoke, right? When Mikey said he seen something Earl, that was probably smoke and mirrors, right? But if Canelo decides to fight Better BF, then he sees something. We hear that all the time. I see something.
I think speed kills in this fight.
I agree with tore his ACL too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Hit Kid. I mean, Better BF is older. He's goddamn near 40 almost.
So
Better BF is a monster, man. He's a beast.
He's coming off an ACL.
Yeah, but he's coming off an ACL and yeah, father time catches everybody, and he's got less.
It's not even that, dude. It's that. Look at all the any athlete that you've seen that has an ACL tear, they do not come back the same, and either they have to heavily modify their game, whether it be soccer, whether it be football, whether it be wrestling, but they have to modify their entire game, and they're no longer the same.
Right, they got to compensate. They got to compensate.
My bad.
Go on, Edgar.
I said.
Yeah, no, I mean, go ahead. I'll let him go first, then I'll go.
Oh, sorry, who was it speaking? Was it Rayo?
You're good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand that. Yeah, like the injury does play. I used to play sports, and yeah, you have to compensate as you get older. I mean, your body is not as flexible and as agile as when you first started doing it. So that will play a role, and I think like Hit Kid said, yeah, with those things in mind, then yeah, Canelo probably would have a bigger edge against Bitterbiv than Bivol. Bivol's younger. He's he still has something in the tank, but. I mean, I hope that it plays out to whoever it is, and I think that's Canelo's last legacy fight at that point. If he wins that fight, it's the last one.
Styles make fights. Better BF style suits Canelo.
Danny says Canelo is quick.
Yeah, agreed.
And so I don't think he's understanding it. We're not talking about Canelo Alvarez is like a runner, a track star. We mean Canelo's quick. It's relative. So think about it. If he's in the ring with Better BF, he's a quicker fighter than Better BF.
Ignore him.
No, look what Danny put it.
Yeah, ignore him. He's a Bumbeaters fanboy. He's a Bumbeaters fanboy.
Because look what he said immediately after that. Besides, Canelo is an alcoholic. Ignore him.
He's an idiot.
He has his own beer. That's why his own tequila.
He's an idiot.
I was gonna say, hey kid, I agree with you on one point, but I kind of disagree with you on another point because you said Better BF is the only guy that you like. Like, who do you think is the guy right now that could beat Canelo out of is Better BF the only guy that you think Canelo can beat at 75 will Bivol too, but who do you think beats Canelo at the weight?
I think at 75, Bivol is the harder fight for Canelo because of how Bivol's the pure boxer. And we saw it in the first fight. Yes, do I think Canelo can make the adjustments? Absolutely, considering, the first fight, what happened.
I want to respond to this.
Yeah, but go ahead.
But I think it's a pure 50-50 match. I think it's a pure 50-50 fight, the rematch. I think it'd be a great, intriguing fight. The reason why I say I fancy Canelo more over Better BF than Bivol is because Better BF is Better BF is going to slug with Canelo. That's why I think it will be a more interesting fight. He's going to fight Canelo's fight.
I mean, yeah, but not because I'm saying, because I think there's 3 people that I actually think that could beat Canelo at 75. 3 people, I think that. Honestly,
is it Cambosos?
Oh, fuck off, man.
Hey,
I'm just joking, bro.
Man, Canelo's not even a 175 pounder. That's what's crazy about this man is that we're talking about he's not a 175 pounder. His limit, his max is 168. And we have to go to a whole nother weight class to find guys that you think can beat him. The only guy that would be favored would be Better BF and Bivol right now. Canelo's the favorite against Morrell and Benavidez.
I was gonna say Better BF, Bivol, and David Morrell stylistically. I think those 3 guys stylistically are his best matchups because of the styles. Because Morrell brings a good style, that could give Canelo problems. Bivol, we already seen how that played out. Better be his power, because of his power and all of that. That gives him problems too.
So hold on. There was a lot of noise there. Son, what were the 3 fighters you think can beat Canelo?
Better be Bivol and David Morrell.
And David Morrell. Okay.
Yeah, because of the style. Stylistically, to me, I think those guys would give him the most problems.
Okay. I'll be honest with you real quick to give my quick assessment on it. I think the only fight at 175, I think Canelo Bivol is a close fight. That can be 50-50, but I'll edge Canelo in that 51-49. And I know people are going to say I'm crazy. Canelo was winning every round until he tired out, gassed, and he also came in there with an injured hand. So I think a healthy, ready, focused Canelo, he's going to go in there and really just beat him. I know it's going to be difficult at times, but if he can manage the weight and not gas, he can win that fight easily because he was winning every round prior. Even Dimitri Bivol admitted that. Bivol even stated in a post-fight that Canelo won the first. Yeah, Bivol even stated in a post-fight interview that Canelo won the first 4 or 5 rounds. He also said that Canelo hurt him at a point in the fight. I think a Canelo-Bivol rematch is a completely different fight. You're going to see a much better improved Canelo, and I would slightly edge him to beat Bivol in a rematch right now. Not to say that's an easy fight. It still will be difficult, but I think Canelo would have to be at his best to win that fight, and I think it's a winnable fight. I think the thing about Archer Beterbiev for me is that, yeah, he might have to knee surgery. Yes, Canelo, but Canelo's going to get hit with that power. Beterbiev always seems to find a way to get you. That's what he's been in there with bigger fighters. He's been in there with faster fighters. I mean, this guy even hurt Usyk in the amateurs. We've seen Beterbiev do crazy things. I would never write him off, and I think he's the only guy that can legitimately hurt Canelo Alvarez. I think
could he hurt Bivol?
Beterbiev, I apologize. Beterbiev.
Could he hurt Bivol? Yeah. I think he can.
That's the question. We all think he can. That's why we all think this fight.
I think he can hurt Canelo. I think he could stop Canelo or Bivol.
Nuke, can I respond to you?
Yeah, go for it.
Listen, I said Bivol versus Canelo's rematch is a 50-50 fight. I wouldn't put money on that either way, but if you had to point a gun to me, I'd say who I would take. I'd probably take Canelo because I do expect Canelo to be much better, in the rematch, but I still think that's a razor-close fight. With Beterbiev, I'm not taking away the KO record and all that. The man's an enigma in the division. Of his KO record with how much he's done. But for me, he's 39 now. He's coming off an ACL. It can, we can see it with Father Time. It can catch up within one fight, if I'm allowed to say it. You look at world beater in this is boxing. You look at world beater in one fight. The next fight, you look absolutely trash.
That's true. And
it could happen.
But just because he had the surgery, just because he had the injury, doesn't mean he's going to be washed when he goes into the fight. I still think that's a 50-50 fight. I mean, at the end of the day, the advantages are really not going to change that much. I mean, Beterbiev didn't have extremely quick feet and any of these things. He has his IQ and his power. And then you look at a guy like Bivol, who has his defense, he has his footwork, he has his hand speed, he has all of this. And so really the same challenges are going to be there. If Beterbiev catches him clean, it's over.
And Canelo's
you gotta remember,
Canelo's
it's like Wilder said, man, is he only has to find that one punch. That's it.
Look, you got to be willing to exchange with Canelo. Who's the last fighter that's been willing to exchange with them? Are we talking? Bivol had said that Canelo was dangerous to the very end. He let his hands go in spurts. Yeah,
Frank. If we're talking about the last fighter who exchanged with Canelo, and we're being truthful here, and this goes to Canelo's chin. What happens if Canelo takes Beterbiev's shot?
Oh, man.
That's something we need to ask because we know about the legendary chin of Canelo. And by the way, to Frank's point, Canelo took Golovkin's best shot, and Golovkin was the bigger man. And I'm on about I'm not on about the third fight, which was such a disappointment. I'm on about the first 2 fights. Those 2 exchanged.
They did.
You got to let your hands go to beat Canelo. You have to let your hands go, and you have to go out there and try to stop the man. Nobody's been willing to do that.
For the record, son of New Jersey, David Morrell is not beating Canelo. I agree.
I'm sorry,
no,
Morrell.
he's not.
I'm just saying. I brought him. I just brought him in there just because I think, I just think because even his style and the, like of how he looked at 68, him being a good boxer,
If he had a
he would
little bit
actually
more
present
experience,
a
I
really
think he
good.
would do better.
Look, son, I
No,
want to
like
tell
he
you, I
would bring
respect
out a
you,
good
son.
challenge.
I respect
He
the
would bring
son in
out
New
a challenge.
Jersey. I respect the son in New Jersey tremendously, and I agree. Bivol better be a tough fights for Canelo. But when he pulls David Morrell out his ass, I immediately go back to thinking that Kambosa's going to outbox Loma. I don't know why I go back to thinking that. I go back to thinking that. Like, hell no, that ain't gonna happen.
The all-time worst prediction on this channel.
Son
Oh
of New
my
Jersey.
God,
If
we're
that
still
fight
giving him shit for it too.
hey, if that fight gets made, son of New Jersey, I'll bet you again that your pick doesn't win.
I didn't say Morrell will beat him. I technically I did,
You
but
did.
I'm just saying because of his.
We got a prediction. Antonio
Listen.
Garcia said Benavidez versus Macumbi.
David.
David.
Yeah, because
I don't know, man. David.
Stop McCumbie. I rest my case.
Let me just say this for David is that if he got his ribs cracked by a man who barely gave a fight, I don't know what he's going to be doing up there with the top light heavyweights. I don't really see it.
Benavidez Macumbi, that's actually a pretty good fight. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Macumbi
it's not a good fight. No. Stop.
It's not a good fight. No, it's not a good fight.
Not because
it's asinine, son of New Jersey.
If he can put Plant on the canvas and David cannot,
stop my Plant! Shut the fuck up! You're being asinine right now.
He dropped.
It's not. Listen.
Hey,
listen.
Let me say something.
It's not a good fight. It's not a good fight. It's not a good fight. It's not a good fight because David's gonna come in substantially heavier than Macumbi. Macumbi's gonna be fair game for a few rounds, but then the weight's gonna start taking its toll, and it's gonna be a shitty fight till the end.
I think it's entertaining, but you're not gonna learn anything. You're not gonna get a gauge on David Benavidez' talent and skills and what he could do to a top elite fighter. Macumbi's not elite. He'll never be elite.
You got to remember that Benavidez is fighting men that have been fighting pretty much heavyweights. His power is nothing out of the ordinary at 175 or above. He couldn't keep Gosnick out of him, and he was barely punching him. So what is he going to do with the Macumbi?
Macumbi's shit, though. Macumbi got stopped by Plant. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Bodybag said hit kid. I thought styles make fights.
They do. But Benavidez dominates Macumbi. That's the fight I don't want to see.
I agree 100% with that.
I would rather see Zurdo Benavidez. That would be a good fight.
That's the fight to make. Zurdo Benavidez. I would love to see that fight.
That's if Pseudo beats Chris Billum Smith, which is a fight I'm backing Pseudo in. But fucking Billum Smith has a habit of pulling upsets recently.
And Hit Kid, what are you going to say if Macumbi actually gives Benavidez problems, or if he actually hurts Benavidez? What are you going to say if Macumbi actually
trash Benavidez?
I would be shocked, but I wouldn't be surprised if Benavidez gets dropped. But I think he'd survive it. I think it'd be more of a Ronald Gavril type of knockdown where it's not enough to knock him out, but he could probably put him down, and then he gets overwhelmed. Noe, my brother Noe says, this is off topic, but who do y'all got between Billum Smith versus Zurdo Ramirez? Not a lot of hype, but interesting to watch. Much love, y'all. We'll start with Hit Kid and go down the panel.
I should be back in the Brit here, but I'm back in Pseudo. But Billum Smith just has that.
Smart man.
Pseudo because of more title fight experience than Billum Smith. But the thing about Billum Smith, he is a live dog in this fight, and that's the role he's excelled in. He you don't expect him to beat half the guys he's recently beat. He's been on a hell of a roll. So it wouldn't shock me if Billum Smith beat Pseudo, but I'm backing Pseudo by stoppage around round 9.
Ooh. Okay, who's next?
Hey, whatever happened to? I know it's off topic. Whatever happened to Zach Park? Whatever happened to him?
Had one comeback fight, nothing else. Who's next on this?
Edgar Moreno.
I got Zurdo.
I mean, Hit Kid basically took the words out of my mouth. I got Zurdo.
Zurdo, yeah.
A big log of a fighter, but he has power and he handles a whole lot of punishment. I got Zurdo.
let's see.
Frank, son.
Yeah, it's gonna be on a Golden Boy card. I think that's the card they're gonna have Barboza and Ramirez on, Zepeda and Farmer. So I'll go with Zurdo as being the house fighter, and I think he's just the more skilled guy. Now we've seen him look lackluster, but if he comes in, uh, motivated, he'll definitely get the win.
Okay.
I got Zurdo, but I don't think Zurdo will knock him out. I think that fight's
Son of New Jersey says, I got Cambosos.
Shut the fuck up, mate. Anyways,
Who is it on John's fighting next, son? We've not heard anything.
Anyways,
and both of them 140, by the way.
I got Zurdo by decision. UD.
Okay.
That's respectable.
Mike Trade says no man from 175 down is beating Artur Beterbiev. He's too strong, powerful, plus his boxing skills are underrated. I'm assuming is what he means. I think he knocks out Canelo, Bivol, Benavidez, and Morrell. And it's hard to argue with a guy who has 100% knockout rate. I mean, it's really hard to argue.
It's hard to argue. Can I say something to this point? It's hard to argue with this. And here's the dangerous thing about Mike's thing, okay? And Mike, I'm not even calling you out here. Here's the dangerous thing about that statement. Right now, we can all say it's definitely hard to argue about that. 2 to 3 weeks from now, is Bivol Beterbiev? Either Mike's comment here is going to have to be, writing it back. I think it's fair we can all say that if Bivol wins. Or he's going to be proving that he's onto something. True or false?
That's true.
Right. Like we're gonna see after that fight. However that fight plays out, then this statement is either gonna age like milk or like wine.
Yeah. One or the other.
True. Hold on. I have an off-note comment. Dwayne South said, side notes, y'all watch the Vince McMahon doc on Netflix. Hit Kid thinks he's innocent. But let's get to the next one.
Fuck that shit! Stop lying, Nuke! Nuke! Apologize! Fucking apologize, motherfucker!
I apologize.
Because Vince McMahon was sleeping with his mama.
About to put me in a blender. I apologize, Hit.
And why does everybody take shots at Hit Kid, man? Everybody just takes shots at him.
He has massive balls and he can take it.
Here's the deal. I'm all fine with it. It's all love, but let's be honest. I haven't made the worst prediction on this channel in its history. That belongs to the son of New Jersey who has left us for the night.
Son of Cambosos over there.
Hold on. We had actually a pretty good one. I'm trying to find the comment for it, but he said Beterbiev has been hurt before. And Callum Johnson dropped him as well, didn't he? Hit?
Yeah.
And Callum Johnson has heavy hands, though. So, like, in fairness, that guy's a very hard puncher.
Yeah, but Bivol isn't. He doesn't have that kind of power.
He don't have Callum Johnson power.
No. Bivol ain't a power fighter, but he can knock people down. We've seen it. He can.
Well, he can, but I don't think he can knock out Beterbiev. I think if anything, it comes out either Beterbiev wins by KO or Bivol wins by decision. I don't see it any other way.
Arthur's bang on the money with that.
I mean, look, man, we got to put it in.
Look at Alfredo put the cheeky little cunt. I was at a Diddy pool party. Hey, Alfredo, I'd never be in the same place as Devin Haney. Let's rest it at that.
Let's just say that Head Kid is the Diddy of England.
Oh my god!
They said
you guys are gonna get me killed.
Abel says Hit Kid has 1,001 bottles of baby oil.
Oh my god!
It's pints, bro. It's pints, not.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna be heading out as well.
Okay, then. Right. We'll all get out of here, man. What you got? Final thoughts?
Benavidez the chicken shit. That cab from PBC's pathetic, and that's all I've got to say. Have a good night.
All right, salute, Hit. Edgar, Frankie, 105, Untouchable. What do you guys got to say?
I mean, Benavidez, like I said it before, bro. It's all talk, no show. It's just delusional fan base that believe this fucking garbage that spews out of his mouth. And Canelo proves once again that he's the face of boxing. He's the guy that moves the chips which way he wants. And to touch on that, the Bud fight, yeah, maybe he does, maybe he does take the money because it's an easy. He sees it as, okay, you guys are saying this so much. Let me take my easy money. Let me make my money. Let me get my win and get that off the table. I don't think at this point. I honestly do not think
that the Benavidez fight will ever happen, because it does. Canelo, like, he sees nothing from it, and the other guy's just using his name to, you know, get views or whatever. And Canelo, I believe, will be undisputed at 175, and at that point, he's not gonna fight any more legacy fights. At that point, he's just gonna maybe even ride off into the sunset.
And he will
Or just
become
go
the
knock
greatest.
out Conor McGregor and Jake Paul.
Yeah, there you go.
Raider Frank 105.
Yeah, if
I'll
go
for it, bro. Go for it.
Okay, yeah, man. If David doesn't realize he's being used by the PBC now to fight on Stank's undercards, then can't help him, man. I mean, I'm a fan of him. I want to see him in Canelo Alvarez, but he's making some bad choices, and that it's due to his loyalty to the PBC. So even if he's talking about better be a B-ball, there's no way, unless he goes over there with Turkey and DAZN to fight on that he's gonna get that fight. So yeah, Benavidez is gonna he's gonna flounder, man. It's sad. So that's my take on Benavidez.
Okay.
Thank you. Salute. Appreciate it.
All right. Raider 105. What do you guys think?
Well, with the whole Benavidez situation is he's just pretty much like I always said, his career was gonna flounder as soon as he was gonna be pushed up to above 168. There's nothing he can do up in those weights to, like, those guys are, you know, bigger, and they're used to fighting people with more power than what Benavidez throws. So I kind of see him like Chavez Jr. and he was amazing at 160, and then as soon as he moved up, he just disappeared completely from boxing. Bivol and Benavidez, that's gonna be a great fight, and hopefully they keep making good fights like that. Man, hopefully Canelo can get that undisputed shot, and then right off to the sunset, man. That's it.
Absolutely. Raider.
As I was gonna say, I feel like, you know, I feel like Benavidez is poorly managed. I feel like he's poorly managed. That's why I feel like this fight happened. Also, because Benavidez, you know, I feel like he's just lying and shit. I'm just disappointed, man. I have lost for words, I would say, as a Benavidez fan.
I completely understand. The one thing I will say is this. I just want to read this last comment. A Sonic 8 says, Yo, Nuke, I've been seeing Benavidez fanboys criticize Canelo for wanting to fight Dimitri Bivol and say that Canelo continues to duck as always. Now, that's probably one of the most despicable, disgusting statements I've ever heard, because clearly Dimitri Bivol is a much better fighter than David Benavidez. And the problem is you get dumbasses like this who goes in the sport and they sit up here too busy glazing David Benavidez to admit the truth. Makes no sense. Salute, everybody.
They're not even hiding no more.
Later, guys.
Later. They're not even hiding no more.
Hit kids. Shout to your mom.